The fact is, only about 20% of people have brains wired to think and feel more deeply than others. Carl Jung called them the ones built for depth. They see patterns, sense emotions, and question everything, even when it hurts. In this video, we're going to explore the psychology of deep thinkers through Carl Jung's lens. For many deep thinkers, this journey starts young. While other kids were happy playing and following rules, you might have been the child asking questions adults didn't really want to answer. Why do people say they're fine when they're not? Why do we have to do things this way? Your brain naturally looks beneath the surface. And over time, you probably learned that too many questions make people uncomfortable. So you kept thinking, just quietly. Many psychologists notice something similar. People who think deeply often feel like they don't quite fit in. Neuroscientist Dr. Elaine Aron found that about 20% of people have more sensitive nervous systems. That means they notice details others miss. They process emotions more deeply. It's not that deep thinkers dislike people. They need purpose. They need truths, even in simple things. Jung believed that most people live inside what he called the collective unconscious, basically going along with how the world works without questioning it. And that's fine for many. It keeps life simple, comfortable. But deep thinkers, they've already peeked behind the curtain. And once you see the deeper layers of human behavior, the insecurities, the systems, the masks, it's impossible to unsee them. It's like discovering color after living in black and white. You can still live in the grayscale world, but you'll always feel the difference. And awareness can feel heavy. Sometimes it even feels lonely, like being the only person in a room who sees something everyone else ignores. Psychiatrist Dr. Judith Orloff calls people like this emotional sponges. Deep thinkers don't simply notice emotions, they absorb them. Ever walked into a room and instantly felt the tension? Or spoken to a sad friend and carried that sadness for hours afterward? That's what this looks like in real life. It's like having a radio in your brain that picks up emotional signals from everyone. Deep thinkers often feel like they're living in a world that moves too fast, talks too loud, and asks too few real questions. Carl Jung believed that people who think deeply don't just observe life, they feel called to understand it. But here's the challenge. In a society that rewards quick answers and easy content, depth can feel like a burden instead of a gift. Think about school. Most of us grew up being told to memorize facts, get the right answer, and follow the rules. But deep thinkers? They're the kids who ask, why does this matter? Or, what if things work differently? And instead of being celebrated for curiosity, they often get labeled as distracted, slow, or difficult. And today, social media makes this even harder. Everything has to fit into a short clip, a trending quote, or a surface-level opinion. Deep reflection, the kind that takes time and silence, doesn't really fit in a scroll-based world. That's why deep thinkers often feel like outsiders. Not because they don't get the world, but because they see too much of it. Jung believed our culture fears going inward, what he called confronting the unconscious. And it's true, isn't it? We distract ourselves from discomfort. When we feel sad, instead of asking why, we scroll, we binge watch, we keep busy. But deep thinkers don't have that switch. Their minds naturally dig beneath the surface, sometimes even when they wish they didn't. They get told, you're overthinking, when really they're just thinking clearly. They get called too sensitive, when they're simply reacting to things others ignore. Over time, this can make them question themselves. Am I the problem? That doubt can be heavy. It's like walking through life with a meaningful message to offer, but feeling like no one speaks your language. Let's talk about something many deep thinkers struggle with: the difference between being lonely and being alone. Loneliness hurts. It's that feeling of being disconnected, even when you're surrounded by people. Solitude, on the other hand, can feel like peace. It's when you finally get to hear your own thoughts again. A lot of deep thinkers don't choose to be alone. It just happens. Their questions make people uncomfortable. Their curiosity feels intense. Their depth can scare people who only want light, simple conversations. So slowly, they find themselves drifting away from groups. Not because they're antisocial, but because they speak a different emotional language. And here's the quiet power deep thinkers carry. Even if they stand alone, they shape the world around them. Like dropping a stone into still water, authenticity spreads. A single honest question can make someone rethink their beliefs. A moment of emotional honesty can give someone permission to feel. Even if deep thinkers don't see the impact, it's there. Every time they choose truth instead of performance, depth instead of distraction, they help build a world that honors meaning over noise. Their job isn't to please everyone, it's to stay rooted in who they are and gently tug the world toward awareness. So if you've ever felt like you're too much or like your depth makes people uncomfortable, this is your reminder. You're not the problem. You are awake in a world that often chooses numbness. You feel in a culture that avoids feeling. You think deeply in a time that favors quick reactions. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a radar. Your depth is not heavy. It's grounding. Your intensity is not a burden. It's clarity. Your job is not to shrink. It's to be selective. To find the environments, conversations, and people who can hold your depth. To build relationships that nourish instead of drain. To trust yourself enough to stay true, even when others don't understand. The journey isn't always easy, but its rewards, true belonging, real connection, meaningful purpose, are things many people chase their whole lives and never find. And while you may walk alone at times, remember this: others like you exist. They're searching too. Your authenticity is the signal that will help them find you. The world may not always know how to receive depth, but it desperately needs it. So don't dim your light, don't soften your voice, and don't apologize for seeing what others miss. Stay awake, stay curious, stay real. You don't have to change overnight. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Just keep choosing truth, one small moment at a time. Keep choosing depth, even when the world chooses noise. And most importantly, keep choosing yourself, not the version others expect, but the version that feels honest, alive, and real. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.